Do a Google search for academic fraud in college sports. More than 1 million results come back. There's been one headline after another about academic corruption in college athletics at some of America's top universities. Mary Willingham blew the whistle at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. She and co-author UNC professor Jay Smith document in their book, Cheated, the academic fraud that had been going on for years at UNC. As a reading specialist, Mary worked directly with UNC's athletes.
And I started to find out pretty quickly that a lot of the athletes, mostly in the revenue sports, the profit sports as we refer to them now, basketball and football players, were significantly behind with their reading and writing skills. During the time that I was there, I tracked 183 students in the profit sports. Around 60% of them were reading at a middle school level, and another 10% were reading below a middle school level. So at any one time, I had a couple of non-readers, so completely illiterate by our standards today.
Think about that. Students admitted to a major university who are illiterate or who can only read at grade school level.
Academic admissions is the original sin of intercollegiate athletics. This is where it starts.
Dr. Gerald Gurney is the co-author of Unwinding Madness, What Went Wrong with College Sports and How to Fix It. He's a past president of the Drake Group who has spent a career analyzing the intersection of academics and college sports. He says Division I universities admit athletes who can't possibly succeed academically.
My published studies have shown convincingly that about 10% have severe reading deficiencies. And essentially those admitted below a 17 ACT, particularly below that number in English or verbal, will have severe, significant reading problems.
Gurney says universities have sacrificed education quality on the altar of athletic eligibility.
It is an environment for fraud. When you admit athletes who cannot compete, these programs either manufacture academic majors with the help of friendly professors, which are what I call the majors of least resistance. Many of these players are funneled into these particular majors and specific courses that are virtually guaranteed with the most minimal amount of work, if any, to ensure success of the athletes for one reason: to keep them eligible.
There is some good news. Richard Southall is the director of the College Sport Research Institute at the University of South Carolina, and he says thanks to computerized data, checking for academic fraud is relatively easy.
Most major universities have an Office of Institutional Research, which their job is to collect data on the student population. They know the ACT, SAT, all of those scores. They know the GPA of any and every student. They know what courses the students are enrolled in.
How easy would it be for a university to check for potential academic corruption? Is this something that's difficult?
No, not at all. No, it's not.
The university official whose job it is to maintain academic standards is the provost. With all the alarm bells that have sounded about problems with academic fraud in college athletics, the Drake Group wanted to find out what are university provosts doing about it. The Drake Group sent public records requests to every provost in the top 5 conferences. We asked for every analysis conducted by the University Provost Office since January 1, 2011, designed to check for academic corruption in your athletic department. 21 universities did not respond. 17 universities said they did conduct a thorough search for records and found nothing. How could there be nothing? And I'm calling to try to set up a video Skype or FaceTime interview with the provost on the issue.
The goal would hopefully be an interview. I mean,
We requested interviews with those provosts. We wanted to ask the provosts, why haven't they checked for academic corruption? What's causing the academic corruption? And why should a university admit students who can only read at a grade school level? Not one of those 17 provosts would agree to an interview. Several universities did respond, and you can read everything they've sent us. Just click on the conference, then click on the university. We got some interesting and some rather surprising information. At Texas Tech, a report prepared by the compliance group recommends that the university should consider updating the quality of cameras in the video monitored study area so that the staff has the ability to zoom in to get important factual details when academic misconduct is at issue. Indiana sent data on the number of football and men's basketball players admitted since 2012 who had an ACT score lower than 17.
Those admitted below a 17 ACT, particularly below that number in English or verbal, will have severe, significant reading problems. You have noticed if you can't read, you cannot be successful. It's not possible. You can't make up that deficiency.
A law firm that examined the athletic program at the University of Texas found that 78% of baseball student athletes, 73% of men's basketball players, and 71% who identified themselves as Black or African American are enrolled in the College of Education. The University of Virginia says it sends a letter to the faculty reminding them to watch out for problems with athletes. If you see patterns of enrollment in particular courses emerging in a given semester that give you pause or raise questions about academic integrity, we would hope you would let us know. At the University of Kansas, the Academic Review Committee recommends getting the names of every student athlete who received a grade change to retain eligibility. The University of Louisville said it could not send the Drake Group records electronically. It could only send hard copies. We've scanned in the hundreds of pages so you can read what they sent. Among the academic highlights, in fall 2015, 17 of 19 teams had a 3.0 or higher GPA. Spring 16, 16 of 19 teams had a 3.0 or higher. Impressive performance considering that in 2014-15, Louisville had 77 student athletes with documented diagnosed learning challenges. Arizona State tells the Drake Group the president of the university has delegated all of the university's athletic compliance responsibilities to the Office of General Counsel. The University of Florida says it annually provides student athletes 21,000 hours of tutoring. It also surveys athletes asking, has a tutor ever completed any portion of an assignment for you? Has a tutor ever taken any portion of a test for you? Nobody answered yes. A university with strict policies that you might want to click on and take a look at is Iowa State University. It monitors all course enrollments, prohibits contact between coaches and professors, and it sent the Drake Group a spreadsheet it compiles listing each possible instance of academic fraud. The University of Kentucky tells the Drake Group it has a fundamental misunderstanding of how universities monitor athletic integrity. UK says that responsibility falls not to the provost, but to the faculty athletic representative.
80% of faculty reps are presidential appointees, and it is in their best interest not to make any waves. And I know that after 31 years of working in academic support, that the faculty reps are anything but the representatives of the faculty. The provost, however, is the representative of the faculty. And therefore, in my judgment, and any observer of higher education should be deeply involved with academic integrity of intercollegiate athletics.
If you're concerned about academic integrity in college athletics, the Drake Group suggests asking the following questions to Division I university presidents, to the education committee members in your state legislature, and to your state's governor. Considering that the primary purpose of a university is education, should students who can only read at grade school level or less be given full scholarships and admitted to a university so they can play football or basketball? And how is the chief academic officer, the university provost, checking for academic fraud and corruption? For colleagues Dave Foster and Max Grubb, this is Carl Eidsvig reporting for the Drake Group.